Now is the winter of our discontent made glorious summer by the sun of York, and all the clouds that lowered upon house in the deep bosom of the ocean buried. Now are our brows bound with victorious wreaths, our bruised arms hung for monuments, our stern alarms changed to merry meetings, our dreadful marches to delightful measures. Grim-visaged war hath soothed his wrinkled front, and now instead of mounting barbed steeds to fight the souls of fearful adversaries, he capers nimbly in a lady's chamber to the lascivious pleasings of a lute. But I, that am not shaped for sporting tricks, nor made to court an amorous looking glass, I that am rudely stamped, and want love's mercy, to strut before a wanton ambling nymph, I that am curtailed of this fair proportion, cheated of feature by dissembling nature, deformed, unfinished, sent before my time into this breathing world, scarce half made up, and that so lamely and unfashionably that dogs bark at me as I halt by them. Why, I, in this weak piping time of peace, have no delight to pass away the time, unless to spy my shadow in the sun, and descant on mine own deformity. And therefore, since I cannot prove a lover to entertain these well-spoken days, I am determined to prove a villain, and hate the idle pleasures of these days. Plots I have laid, inductions dangerous, by drunken prophecies, libels, and dreams, to set my brother Clarence and the king in deadly hate, the one against the other. And if King Edward be as true and just as I am subtle, false, and treacherous, this day should Clarence closely be mewed up about a prophecy which says that G of Edward's heirs the murderer shall be. Dive, thoughts, down into my soul. Here Clarence comes. Have I a tongue to doom my brother's death? And shall the tongue give pardon to a slave? My brother killed no man. His fault was thought, and yet his punishment was bitter death. Who sued to him for me? Who in my wrath kneeled at my feet and bade me to be advised? Who spoke of brotherhood? Who spoke of love? Who told me how the poor soul did forsake the mighty Warwick and did fight for me? Who told me in the field by Tewkesbury, when Oxford had me down, he rescued me and said, "Dear brother, live and be king"? Who told me, when we both lay in the field, frozen almost to death, how he did lap me even in his garments and did give himself, all thin and naked, to the cold, numb night? All this from my remembrance, brutish wrath, sinfully plucked, and not a man of you had so much grace to put it in my mind. But when your carters or wailing vassals have done a drunken slaughter and defaced the precious image of our dear Redeemer, you straight are on your knees for pardon. Pardon, and I, unjustly too, must grant it to you. But for my brother not a man would speak, nor I ungracious speak upon myself, for him, poor soul. The proudest of you all have been beholding to him in his life, yet none of you would once beg for his life. O God, I fear that thy justice will hold on me and you, and mine and yours for this. Come, Hastings, help me to my closet. Ah, poor Clarence. Give me another horse. Bind up my wounds. Have mercy, Jesus. Soft. I did but dream. O coward conscience, how dost thou afflict me? The lights burn blue. It is now dead midnight. Cold fearful drops stand on my trembling flesh. What do I fear? Myself? There's none else by. Richard loves Richard. That is, I and I. Is there a murderer here? No. Yes, I am. Then fly! What? From myself? Great reason why. Lest I revenge. What? myself upon myself? Alack, I love myself. Wherefore? For any good that I myself have done unto myself? Oh no, alas, I rather hate myself, for hateful deeds committed by myself. I am a villain, yet I lie. I am not. Fool, of thyself speak well. Fool, do not flatter.